Just like TV shows had iconic cars, cartoons would often have a fallback getaway vehicle for their heroes. So when pumping out a toy line, what were you gonna pop in between the price range of characters and playsets? Toy vehicles, of course, ever so conveniently added into the cartoon. The mid-price range gift any kid would be glad with when going on another fantasy adventure with their favorite toys. But as we've seen so far in this ongoing series of unproduced toys, some would never leave the toy factory. In this Ed's Retro Geek Out, we're shopping around for a new set of wheels, so be sure to subscribe for more 80s and 90s toy content. Start your engines and let's strap in for some toy history. The year is 1987, Full House aired for the first time, and The Simpsons would make their TV debut. And even though Thundercats would get another cartoon season, the toy line seemed to be on its way out, leaving many toys unreleased after disappointing sales of their Series 3 wave. Aside from some characters, we would also miss out on spaceships and vehicles these fictional cat-like humanoid aliens would get from one adventure to another in. The feliner vehicle, but also the lightning thunderstrike and the Luna tracker as seen in the cartoon, cruising over Third Earth. They'd get you from Burble Village to the mines of the Molmen in no time. I'd look as happy as this kid if I would have gotten my hands on the feliner, featuring retractable landing gear with rolling wheels to move around more easily in landing mode. The cat-like jaws could open up and pick up enemies with its snapping jaws. Legend even has it that it made thundering, roaring sounds when the head moved. It would have been the biggest vehicle in the toy line, being able to seat 4 action figures. The Lunatacker, on the other hand, would move over the floor making creaking noises as it would claw at the ground. It would have been equipped with 6 projectiles spitting from the mouth, and it needed these to attack the Lightning Thunderstrike, a vehicle with 2 detachable pods and the big midsection seating a figure in each of the 3 modules. The toy would have an air as well as a ground mode, and would make sounds in the form of pre-recorded messages when struck by attacking laser beams from the lightsaber's energy packs. And of course, it had its own lasers as well. But what did the Book of Omens have to say about using lasers? LJN didn't have the best of luck with lasers. The Photon action figure line released in the same year had very little buyer support, as well as the other anthropomorphic animal cartoon they were making toys for. Tigersharks. These head flippers were on shelves, but that was it.
I'll take it from here.
Vehicles like the Sawbill Cycle are apart from a surviving Toy Fair catalog image lost to time. The hand-operated vehicle, which you could navigate through the water, probably had a trigger that will allow the saw to move around. But also, the Sark ship we saw in the cartoon show wasn't produced. A supposedly 32-inch long dual space and sea craft for Dolph and Mako, pictured here with the logo, could be considered a playset being that big. It had a gun that seems to be retractable, a button on the nose, and many panels that perhaps had functionalities. But as it didn't make it beyond early tests, we might never know. Now, the shark hammer on the back of the action figure cards also seemed to not have been put in production. And this seemed to be just a pod-like vehicle. Now, these lines by LJN probably grew out of the success of Masters of the Universe, but with the introduction of Kenner's Real Ghostbusters following the box office hit and a cartoon show, it seems like all the kids wanted was the proton-packed heroes, cutting down Thundercats in its prime and not giving Tigersharks a chance to survive in the toy market. The paranormal scientists were popular, and so were the ghosts. So many ghosts, the Ecto one just wasn't enough. So tying in nicely with the Firehouse playset, Kenner proposed to create the Firefrighter vehicle, a modified fire truck with working ghost trap storage system and a claw feature to help bring in all the ghosts they were busting. Now, the ghosts it would have come with would have probably been round to easily be picked up, and it seems like they had a ladder on the side as well. But I do think this is a very early prototype stage toy, as the coloring just ain't what we're used to from Kenner around that time. It's a 4-alarm ghost alert, and the real Ghostbusters are on the scene in the new Firefrighter. Capture ghosts in the grabber claw and crane arm. Store them by dropping them into the portable containment unit. Cab of the truck seats any 2 of the real Ghostbusters action figures side by side. It's partially a reused mold from the 1990s cancelled toy line Police Academy, the vehicle known as Jail Jalopy altered and equipped with a ghost trap. Originally, this second chance for the mold was proposed for 1991, but cancelled because another toy line stepped in to take the torch and lead the action figure market. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Playmates was also a very vehicle-heavy toy line, with sometimes up to 10 new vehicles in every wave. These could be iconic representations that got a lot of screen time in the cartoon, or just smaller and often funny vehicles that didn't cost too much. And anything with the aquatic theme could be used and reused from their other slimy, gruesome lines. Just take a look at Toxic Crusaders. Just look at the similarities between 1992's Lieutenant Leo's Bodacious Buggy and the hideous hovercraft from 1991. That wouldn't be the last Toxic Crusader mold they tried reintroducing in 1992. Michelangelo's Sidewalk Surfer brings back the basics of Toxie's Turf Surfer and adds in some existing accessories from the Sand Buggy, Turtle Copter, and Party Wagon to connect it with the line. This turtleized topsail carrying Sidewalk Surfer is an earth-traveling turtle transport powered by Mother Nature herself, the wind. Oh yeah, this is right in the middle of the environmental craze. But don't stop there, dudes. Just give mama some help and this baby really flies. Bow-mounted turtle head bombs are first out the arsenal, followed by foot-seeking mutant missiles and green gnarling guns. When the footseed is billowing sewer sail headed their way, they'll have their heads in the sand. The colors on this mock-up seem a bit too colorful, but the cool thing is we could actually recreate the prototype very easily with a couple turtle parts and the Toxie vehicle. So come on, somebody just do it, please. Just please do it. And that same idea could be applied with the Toxic Crusaders car that was previewed for Wave 2, a cool gangster style car, so you can probably guess where the mold had its origin in. Dick Tracy, another line by Playmates. This is really just a heavily painted big boy's getaway car. What once was a convict carrying crime mobile would now join the cleanup time crew. Although, the proto in this picture seems to be missing a headlight. I sure do hope Dick Tracy doesn't give him a ticket. Now, back in the days of the Wild West, you didn't have to worry about stuff like that. The Cowboys of Moo Mesa had other things to worry about than broken headlights. Lawbreakers of the Code of the West would stand off with Marshal Moo Montana and the gang of cowmatized mutated animals that live in the frontier territory. Hasbro released 10 figures in one vehicle, but there was more in the works, like the Cow Patty Wagon and Wagon Train. Perfect to play out those train heists with the wanted bad guys. They'd come range roving in a varmint mobile with wood-burning stove that can launch up to 4 cow pie discs, equipped with a jailbreak bumper to spring busted bovines from jail, and it also has a movable moon sunroof, swinging saloon doors, and a jail cell. On the other side, you had the Wagon Train. It is the rail-riding, road-stomping vehicle of choice for stampeding cowboys. It's got a cow-nose missile rattling gun that shoots 6 sizzling snake missiles, and the warped wheels give it a cool bumpy ride feel. This one can hold up to 4 figures. Yep. It's actually a shame that this line didn't get more love back in the day, as it would have fit in perfectly with every line Playmates was doing at the time. And I do wonder if they had a saloon playset in the works as well. Now, vehicles seem to work best if they are part of the universe your heroes live in, but also important is how well they fit on and in the vehicle, your characters. But what if the vehicle was especially designed for your action figures? Masters of the Universe were definitely spinning out of ideas to incorporate gimmicks when they came up with Twistoid and Rotar. The twisting attack mode was fun, but would scratch up the toys real quickly. As always, you'd have a good and a bad one, and a comic book to tell you about their story. In Energy Zoids, we don't only get to know these 2 new characters, but Man-at-Arms also shows off his newest invention, the Gyrotacker. And over at Mattel, they also had plans to make a toy out of it. It's tough getting these spinning toys to work, but this vehicle would actually help. Not only could you open the front gates with an ejectable flywheel seat that could be used as a gyroscopic top for Rodar, but it could also propel the vehicle with He-Man or another action figure inside, making them come at the enemy in the same attack style as Rotar. The vehicle would have been great to launch both Rotar and Twistoid into combat more easily. The blue vehicle had room for two. In the back, your figure could drive the gyro attacker around, and the front had the removable white module with extra guns added on top. Unfortunately, the interest in Masters of the Universe was already fading, and the concept wouldn't be released, so we'll never know exactly how this vehicle worked. Now, this was just a first dive into many unproduced vehicle toy concepts, but which one was your favorite back in the day? Or did you do the math in a toy store that you could get 3 action figures for the price of 1 vehicle? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments down below.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more weekly toy history videos, and if you'd like to support the channel even more, you can always leave a like on the video or join us on the Patreon. Even the $1 tier will give you access to the exclusive Discord where we talk toys all the time. I hope you're having an awesome day. Be sure to buckle up and stay safe on the road, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.